All right. Well, this is the first painting stream I've done in a long time. Really, really long time. I maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. So yeah, I know no one's watching, but for anybody who actually who comes in while I'm talking, right now I'm just sharing my social media stuff. So yeah, we'll see if we'll see if this works, if this takes off. Maybe I'll do some more streams, or yeah, we'll see. But bear with me for just a moment, or two, or three, or four. Okay, all right. Well, I really don't know what I'm doing here. So, uh, streams current. I got messages coming. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on here. So, whatever. I'm just gonna stream and do some painting. Uh, and we'll see how it goes. If it goes great, I'll do some more streams in the future. I might do maybe a Tuesday stream will be a regular thing, maybe not. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. All right, call is done. So now I can go ahead and get back to doing some painting and see what happens. Still no one viewing. That's okay. This is just a test stream. I really don't care. I'll just sit here and paint, do what I'm doing normally. So right now I'm working on my Draconis Combine sort of light mix. So at the moment I'm working on this old school catapult. It's very from Iron. Actually, this might be an original Ralpartha. Now that I think about it, I like the older stuff, quite frankly, than some of the newer stuff. The newer catalyst plastics are good, but the older stuff, it just hits me in the feels, hits me in the nostalgia. I've actually been playing BattleTech since I was 12, and of course the Ralpartha mechs were the first mechs that I ever encountered. So they hold a special place in my heart. So the catapult, I've already gone ahead and finished off the red on. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sealing it in a matte varnish because it's a metal mini. So I don't want the paint to come off. I want to protect the paint as much as I can. My Tenshi that I painted, if anybody saw that on social media, all zero people watching. My Tenshi that I painted actually, I didn't varnish it very well, and I ended up really struggling as I was chipping paint off quite a bit with it. So, yeah. Lesson learned, varnish your metal minis. It helps. It really does. So, oh crap, I forgot the little. Hang on. Forgot the little pad of paper that acts as my palette that I put excess paint on. So, really, this is going to be me struggling to try and do a decent paint job while trying to find a way to get comfortable on a very, very small desk. Because this one, I don't have a lot of space at all. Like, it is very, very tiny. So I've got another painting desk that I use much more frequently, which is nowhere near as tiny as this. So, but whatever. Also, I've like left a bunch of stuff on the other desk, so I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth as I remember stuff that I've forgotten to bring over to one desk. It's annoying. It really is. So you guys get an idea of what I've been doing with my combine mechs. This is the Tenshi that I finished painting yesterday, actually. It's kind of hard to tell, kind of hard to see on the camera, just because it's all kind of washed out and it's a crappy webcam. But, yeah, I like it. You can kind of get an idea of what I'm going with, kind of a spring, snow, flocking type of deal, that sort of thing. Stream's current bitrate, stream bitrate of, okay. All right, well, I got a good connection, so whatever. I don't know what half of this crap means anyway. This is my first time trying to stream on YouTube. So, yeah, whatever. Whatever. So, yeah, this gives you an idea of what I'm doing with my Draconis Combine mechs. I'm doing a sort of light theme for all of them, so kind of going with the heavy red with a little bit of silver to kind of break it up a little bit, and of course the blue cockpit, green lasers, that sort of thing. So this gives you an idea of what I'm doing, what I'm working on. I'm going to put this guy up in a probably precarious position. Hopefully he doesn't fall off of that, because yeah, that would not be good. So we're going to have the varnish, wait for the varnish to dry on the catapult, and then I got this mech that I'm going to start on next. Is the something Kozo? I don't know. Let me look this up on Sarna really quick. Hold on. I never remember this mech's name. I'm absolutely horrible at it. Hang on. Oh, I know there's a page on Sarna that'll tell me what all the combine mechs are. So let's see. Oop, as I bump my desk and shake everything. Hitotsumi Kozo. That's what this guy's called. Hitotsumi Kozo. Hitotsume Kozo. God, say that 5 times fast. It is a very Japanese mech, a very Kuritan mech. So definitely fitting for a sort of light force. So with these mechs, these bad boys, I always start with a little bit of Vallejo Express Color. Plasma Red. And I'm just going to kind of slop that on this bad boy here. And I do mean slop. I actually like the Express colors. I'm actually liking the Express colors more than the speed paints. They seem to they're easier. It's easier to use than the Vallejo speed paint, the blood red. Blood red tends to be blood red would be like the equivalent color for plasma red. So the blood red tends to be more runny, I guess, than this one. So, hey, I had one viewer and I got one like, yay! It's magical. Absolutely magical. So yeah, just slopping this plasma. I got it. Bear with me. You're gonna hear things shuffling around, see things moving in and out of the camera and everything as I try to get more comfortable with this. And I think I've found a spot that I'm comfortable with. Yeah, I kind of like this. Kind of like this area. How I'm doing this. So I'm going to slap the plasma red all over, give him one coat over the zenithal. And I'm going to do one more coat. So I do 2 coats of this stuff, 2 coats of the plasma red. Why? Because I think that gives me a more vibrant candy red, which I like. But yeah, the express colors, I'm loving them. It's really hard to find them in my area though. I've got 2 local game stores, and one of them carries Vallejo's new stuff, including express colors, but the express colors are never available. Hey, welcome, Puddle90. Never got that into painting miniatures. Still a new thing to see. Still a nice thing to see. Okay, yeah. You know, I have been a gamer since I was 12. I've played Battletech specifically since I was 12. So a long time. um, and I've been a painter. I mean, I've painted since then, but not very well, and I never really took it seriously until the last couple of years with the whole pandemic crap and all that stuff. D&D 3.5 started on D&D 3. You know, I love D&D 3.5. That's probably my favorite D&D system. It's part of the reason why I play Pathfinder mostly today. I've tried 4.0, which I didn't really like. I have never played 5th edition D&D, and based on Wizards' behavior, I am not going to. So, but yeah, I like 3.5. I think it was the best edition of D&D. I think Pathfinder did a good job kind of continuing it. But yeah, I've been painting minis for a while, but I started taking it seriously a couple of years ago when I got back into the hobby. I took a break from it for a number of years, and it's an activity that I do pretty much every day, and it centers me a lot. This is actually my therapy. I guess is how you could say it. So we're painting the Hitotsume Kozo. We got that plasma red on there. I'm gonna let that dry just a bit before we slap another coat on it. So again, that's going to give me a more vibrant red than just one coat. Although I could just leave it at one coat and then do a dry brushing and I'd be fine with it. But we're going to go a little extra on the red here. Am I tetrachromat, seeing differences in colors that most everyone else simply can't? Um, I don't think so. I don't think I am. I might be. I've it might also just be the last couple of years. I've just kind of developed more of an artistic view of color because I actually a lot of people don't consider miniature painting to be art, but I actually do consider it to be art. So I try to have that mindset whenever I do any painting, and it's very possible that it's just kind of sharpened my eye where it comes to color and differences and things like that. And that's probably something that a lot of artists actually have, I would think. All right, so the varnish on the catapult here is dry. So now I'm just going to kind of block in the parts that are not going to be red. I'll just do that with a little bit of Vallejo Wolf Gray. And some very steady hands. Or not so steady hands. That's okay. If I get any paint anywhere that I don't want it, I can always just clean it up later. Paint is paint. A lot of people don't realize that, but paint is an additive process, and you can just slap more on, cover up sins, and all that good stuff. Art of Finesse, but tetrachromats. We have extra cones in our eyes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have that. I've never I've never gotten tested for it or anything. Of course, I haven't been to an eye doctor in years, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's just practice. But I mean, who knows? Who the hell knows? I will say one thing painting has given me is a lot more patience and a lot steadier hand than I had before. Especially Battletech minis, the scale they're at 6 millimeter, you really gotta be able to hold on to it. The red paint is uniform, by the way. What do you mean the red paint is uniform? Not sure I understand that exactly. Yeah, we'll have this whole thing be silver. Why not? Oh, color is consistent texture. And gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, okay. Inconsistency is good. Da-da. Oh, there's 2 viewers on the stream now. Fire ant, fire ant mech. There actually is a fire ant in BattleTech. It's a variant of the flea, if I remember correctly. So the flea is, if you don't know anything about BattleTech, the flea is a very light, very fast mech. Very lightly armored. A lot of times the flea will have like one gun, whether it's like a machine gun or like a very small laser or something like that. It's a very fast mech, but it's not a very good mech. And the fire ant actually is a variant of the flea. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe the fire ant was an anti-infantry flea and had a very bad reputation because of it. Basically a walking war crime machine. I really played MechWarrior 4 Mercs and Mech Commander briefly, so my knowledge on that is limited. You know, I like the MechWarrior games. I really do. My first MechWarrior game was whatever the Crescent Hawk game was back in the 90s. Legend of the Crescent Hawk or something. I forget what that is. A friend of mine had that, and he let me play that on his computer, and I was hooked. I got MechWarrior 2. Um, MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries was actually probably my favorite MechWarrior game. Um, Mech Commander, I played it, but I didn't play it that much. But I do have it somewhere. It's my old CDs probably in a box, along with my old MechWarrior CDs. So yeah, that was a quality bunch of games, especially for me being a youngin, being literally obsessed with BattleTech to the point where like I had encyclopedic knowledge of all the technical readouts and all of the mechs. It was pretty fun to be able to like kind of live in that world a little bit through those games. But this one is a catapult that I'm doing right now. So significantly heavier than the flea. Grab Mech Commander 2 online. Oh, free. I might have to try. I might have to take a look at that and see if I can't find that because I didn't play Mech Commander much, but it was a fairly decent game from what I remember. I preferred Mech Warrior over Mech Commander, but I might have to check that out. Might be one of the my crappy old computer that I've got should be able to run that potentially. All right. So I'm just continuing to block in the metals. On here. And once I'm done with the metallics, I'm actually going to go over the metallics with some speed paint. And then with some actual metallic paint. Because I like how at least the speed paint 1.0, I haven't used the 2.0, but the speed paint 1.0 tends to kind of blend a little bit with the metallic paint and give it a little bit different look. I have to install some outside software to get that. MechWarrior 4 Mercs to play. First time with MechWarrior 4 was jarring, and just basic movement is truly an accomplishment. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to the MechWarrior games because they don't work the same way as a regular shooter game would. Like you do have to put a little bit of thought into the controls, um, especially when you add in like the ability to torso twist and that sort of thing. It's one of the reasons why I don't play MechWarrior Online a whole hell of a lot, because just the whole translating the movement style of MechWarrior, the offline games, to an online game, to an online competitive shooter game. Uh, yeah, it's interesting. All right. So I think the stream is going well. I might have to do some more streaming. Might have to make this a regular thing. I don't know. But this is just a test stream just to see how things go. Mainly it's a test stream for me to figure out like a comfortable way of painting on camera. Because I hate painting to a camera. Because I can't really see what I'm doing. Buffering. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's having a little bit of difficulty, so I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. Clear now. Okay, good. Yeah, no, it's seeming like every couple of minutes I'm kind of getting a buffering message. So I don't know exactly how to fix that, but maybe if I close some stuff that I have open. Let me just close that completely. Okay. Yeah, maybe that'll help things a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. Other than that, like I said, I think it's going well. I've actually found a kind of a comfortable spot where I can paint, I can see what I'm doing, the camera can kind of see what I'm doing, and I don't have to be like kind of hunched over or having the mini like all the way up to where I can't even see what's going on or anything like that. It's still a little difficult, but not so bad. Okay. So put a couple more metal bits on this guy. Not too many more, and then I think I'm going to call that done because with Sordalite they are predominantly red, like almost 100% red on all of their mechs. So I don't want to break it up too much because then some people might start to think, oh, those are Kellhounds or those are Red Hunter Group or any one of the other 500 billion BattleTech units that use some variation of red and black or red and metallic or whatever. So the Hitotsume Kozo, I'm going to come back to him really quick. So I'm going to do another coat on this guy, deep in the red. Left hand free, see some more detail and see some of the tools you're using. Yeah, it's gonna be a learning process on my part. I streamed a little bit years ago on Twitch, and I stopped because I really couldn't find a good spot for everything. So I think what I've got going right now is sort of working, even though I'm using a crappy webcam that I stole from work. Yeah, that's true. Camera angles can break up the monotony. Yeah, I gotta kind of play around and see what works for me, see what doesn't work, and that sort of thing. All right, actually, let me kind of pull this guy up a little bit. So I'm just putting some more plasma red on this bad boy, getting a more uniform coat on him, getting a deeper red. Plus, this has the added benefit of covering up anything that I might have missed the first time. If I've got any different, like, unpainted spots or anything like that on him. Now, I will say one thing about the Dark Age era Draconis Combine mechs. They are very cool looking, almost universally. I don't think there's a one of them that I don't like. I also love the fact that like half of them are like this samurai aesthetic that you've got going on with the Hitotsume Kozo right here. I've also got grab. Hold on, 1 second. Let me go see. Give me a moment. I gotta go get it. Hold on. All right. So in addition to the Hitotsume Kozo, I've also got this bad boy, another samurai mech to paint. I don't remember the name on this one though. I really don't. He's an assault mech though. He's a big beefy chonker with a big giant gun. And then I've also got the Shiro, which I haven't taken out of the package yet, but the Shiro is essentially literally a samurai, a giant walking samurai with a giant freaking samurai spear. Let me actually get one of my technical readout books really quick. And I can actually probably show you a picture of them. Let's see, because I know they're both Dark Age mechs. So they should both be in here. Where is the Shiro? Page 148. Black Knight, Jade Hawk. Nope, too far. There's the Shiro. That's not page 148. Okay. Oh no, that's page 150. Okay, never mind. I was reading it wrong. I was thinking the table of contents on this book were wrong. So yeah, this is the Shiro, literally a giant samurai, with a giant spear. Let's see. As an aside, I've listened to Pink Hawk and Critical Hit Sinless. What would you suggest newbies do for characters in Shadowrun? Like, what type of character a newbie should play? Because if you're looking for character type, I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want to do. I really probably wouldn't recommend a hacker, because hacking can be a little funky. Magic also can be interesting at times, depending on the edition that you're playing. I might go with like a Street Samurai type of deal. Just because the Street Samurai is something that I've always seen as like the traditional fighter in other RPGs. You know, you've got fourth edition. Okay. Deeply insist on higher. Well, I mean, at least the good thing about fourth edition is hacking is easier in fourth edition than decking is in second and third edition. Third edition, you basically have to run two different games. Second edition, I didn't run too much of second edition before moving to third, but second edition, a little bit similar. I mean, if he wants to play a hacker, I would say go for it. But I would maybe like just let them know that it's going to be a little bit of complex. AR hacking and getting wired. Yeah, I would definitely recommend AR hacking. Because otherwise, you can run into the trap of the decker just sitting around while everybody else plays the game and everybody else goes on the run. Um, Whereas if you have, in fourth edition, if you focus more on AR, your hacker is going to be going with you on runs for the most part. So everybody's going to be in like the same place. Plus, I mean, it's kind of fun hacking people's cyberware in combat. Just gonna throw that out there. Not gonna lie, it is kind of funny doing that. Yeah, the last game I ran, I had a player who was a technomancer, and he didn't, of course, get any cyberware, but he went more with more focusing on AR stuff, and he was also starting to branch out into sprites and doing more with sprites before we had to cut the game short because my schedule at work changed and I wasn't able to show up anymore. So yeah, that would be right. I would definitely think AR hacking is probably going to be the best way to go for the newbie. Also, it's easier for the game master too because you don't have to have two different adventures going on at the same time. You don't have, the physical runners going into the target and doing their thing, and then you have the decker kind of zipping through the computer system in the background, which it's the traditional Shadowrun way, but also it does kind of result in two different game styles, two different games going on at the same time. You have to prepare like two different campaigns almost, and I never really liked doing that. We actually, when we were playing third edition, for the most part, we actually banned deckers at one point in time for that reason. Because number one, the decking rules were insanely complex, but also, the game master, it was just more work for the GM because you had to have two different things. That and the last time I allowed any sort of decking, one of the players played an otaku, which is essentially a third edition technomancer, but way more stupid. And I was having to create systems that were so stupidly high that the regular decker in the group was useless because the otaku was able to breeze through literally everything. Wrote up the hacker that would help move the game along. Okay, okay, I like that. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good loadout. Definitely treats them more as an actual combat hacker than just a regular hacker. I always found the concept of combat hacking to be intriguing. I'm not gonna lie. And again, like I said, hacking somebody's cyberware in combat, it's just funny. Yay, Battletech! Hey there, very silent mouse. Yep, we're painting some Sword of Light for the Draconis Combine Mustard Soldiery. And we are currently painting up two mechs. We're painting up an old classic Ral Partha catapult and a newer Iron Wind Metals Hitotsume Kozo from the Dark Age. No, it's perfect. Listen, I'm doing a Combine Force because if I want to commit war crimes, I'm going to commit war crimes correctly. All right? The same reason why I have a Clan Smoke Jaguar Force. Because if I'm going to do war crimes, they're going to be some freaking war crimes. Yeah, they are boosted health and armor and adds weapon die because of boosted stats. Yeah, cyber arms in any Shadowrun system can be really useful. Like I've used them in third edition a little bit. I've used them in fourth edition a little bit. I don't do them very often because they are a bit of a pain in the ass to build, and build correctly. But when you do build cyberlimbs correctly, oh my god, they are pretty freaking sweet. All right, so plasma red on the Hitotsume Kozo is just about dry. So in the meantime, let's see, I just put the speed paint on, so we're going to give that a little bit. In the meantime, show you a little bit of how this is going to be looking. So this is the Tenchi that I painted yesterday. Actually, yesterday and the day before. So this is what my Sword of Light is going to be looking like for the most part on this. Um, I'm I'm debating whether or not I should get some transfers and put them on there. I don't like I don't like decals though. Of course, the last time I used decals, I was in high school and absolutely hated them. So they might go a little bit easier today. With now that I have a little bit more knowledge painting wise, but yeah, I still don't like them. They're very annoying. All right. Do some metallics. I don't have anything within this, so I got to grab some more stuff from my other desk. And dogs barking at something. I have no idea what they see out there, but apparently it is something that is going to kill us all. So they have to defend us from it. Four full limbs and ceramic bone lacing can be packaged as a suite. Add on biocompatibility at absent and pay double for alphaware, and it's 50% reduction to the whole cyber suite. Not bad, actually. Like I said, I didn't do cyber limbs a whole lot, but they are very useful. I also forgot that in fourth edition, yeah, you can have multiple limbs, which is kind of cool. Third edition, I don't think you could have multiple limbs, but that might have changed in another book. I might be wrong about that. Maybe Year of the Comet changed it or something like that. One of those other books that they came out with at a later time as they were making like the transition from third to fourth edition. Now, question, Puddle, with the hacker, what race is he going to be? Is he going for human or elf, orc, dwarf, troll, or is he going for like one of the more exotic meta variants and weird races that fourth edition has? Something that I actually never tried in fourth edition, and I kind of want to at some point because I think it might be cool, is play a Naga out of the Runner's Companion. I think that would be an interesting character. Because you're essentially a sentient magical snake. at that point if you're a Naga. If you want to play an elf, playing our sample orc or human for now. Okay, okay. I usually play a human myself on the rare occasions I actually do get to play Shadowrun, just because the other races can be very resource heavy, especially starting out. So usually, if I've got like a concept in mind, it's easier for me to do it as a human. But that said, I do like playing. I do like playing some meta variants. I do like elves and elves and trolls. Actually, are probably my two favorite. I've never played a dwarf, and I think I've only done an orc once. Build point system makes a non-human rougher if you intended on hacker. Yeah, the build point system is a challenge for non-humans if you're doing something other than stabby shooty street samurai. Like you can do it definitely. It can be done. It does make things a little tougher on you. But then again, I mean that can pay. Being a non-human can pay dividends depending on the setting that you're running in. So you need to focus. Yeah, I agree. You do need to focus more on your role with build points. You need to have if you're gonna be a non-human character and use a build point system, you really do need to have a plan and a well thought out concept of what you want to do and how you're gonna get there. Um, Humans, you can really just kind of slap a human together and be pretty competent. But yeah, with the non-human races, you definitely do need to think about it a little bit more and be a little bit more um, intentional with your purchases. Or you just load up on a bunch of different flaws and get more points. Which flaws can be fun, and they can also be a double-edged sword, without a doubt. Okay, I'm happy with the metallics on that catapult. So we'll let that dry. Set that off to the side. We'll wash the metallics with some black wash in a little bit. The Hirotsume Kozo. Let's see. Yeah, he's dry. So yes, the runner's toolkit has those packs, and I really do need to do. Oh, come on, this damn mixing balls are stuck on the bottom of this red tone. Hang on, it's gonna get a little loud. There we go. That was kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, the runner's toolkit and the packs in there. I think the packs are really good and they help simplify character creation. I haven't used them myself. Well, I have used them. I haven't used them to create a player character. I have used them for when I need some quick and dirty NPCs. It's really good to be able to just kind of slot that in there. Oh wow, that's weird. Didn't come with on the run. Store gave me a refund and had to print a bootleg copy. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I like On the Run. It's a good starter thing. So, little bit of a weird issue with this guy. I washed some red tone on one of the armor plates, and it's actually removed the Vallejo Express color off of the edge of it. That is weird. I've never seen that happen before with the Express colors. Boot legal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could be a happy accident, but I don't like how it looks. This is just really weird. I've used Vallejo Express color, this particular Vallejo Express color on multiple mechs, and I've done the red tone wash, and I've never had that happen. I wonder if it just wasn't completely dry on that portion. But easily fixable. Yeah, scorch marks, battle damage. Yeah, I might end up having to do that. Honestly, at this point in the painting process, it's an easy fix. I'm not terribly worried about it. I am going to dry brush this guy once the red tone wash dries on him. So the dry brush is probably going to cover most of that up. I do need to go all out on some battle damage for Mechos at some point, though. I really do. Because weathering anything is really fun. It's like probably the most fun you can have painting is um, doing this nice paint job and then just scratching the hell out of it and just making it look all nasty and horrible and like it's been through shit and it's seen some it's a mech that's seen some shit. Usually I do that with oil paints. But there's other things to use. Pigments you can do that with. Yeah, so weathering is just making stuff look worn, essentially. Um, so like the battle damage and the scorch marks and everything that you're talking about, that would count as weathering. So you can do that with different techniques, um, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I do need to. My A lot of my mechs are too pristine and too factory, too fresh from the factory. All right, so this guy I'm gonna let dry some more because I don't think he was quite dry, and that's probably why the paint was rubbing off. So let me get. I have my black wash. I gotta say, this getting up and sitting back down, it's a little annoying. Dry brushing. So when you're dry brushing something, you're basically putting very little paint on your brush to the point where it's literally is almost dry, and you're just kind of brushing it against the model very lightly, like something like that. And the intent is that the paint gets deposited on the raised areas, and the um, the recesses are still dark and that sort of thing. And you can use that technique to build up a good gradient of color on some mechs. And there's some painters out there that um, technically non-committal painting. Yeah, I guess you could see it that way. There's actually some painters out there that use only dry brushing. Artist Opus, Byron over on that channel, he does all of his painting with dry brushing. And he gets some phenomenal stuff done. I mean, it's insane what he can do. Me, I'm a third rate dry brusher. So I really I don't get a whole lot out of it, but I can do it. Hi, Glenn Royer, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, the first painting stream I've done on this channel in a year, maybe more. I don't know. Just kind of testing out the waters with this stream. Mainly, I'm just trying to do something that works and trying to find a way that I can paint comfortably on camera because I do want to do more streaming. Because I used to do streaming more on Twitch, but I stopped doing it just because it was annoying painting on camera. But I think I've got a system sort of working here. With a good eye and meticulous effort, it sounds like you get some amazing. Yeah, that's the thing is good painting takes time. Good painting takes a lot of time. And yeah, Byron spends a lot of time dry brushing throughout his mini and getting different gradients with different colors and that sort of thing. But yeah, it is definitely something that you got to take your time with. And time is something that a lot of us don't have, myself included. Let's see. All right, so well, while I'm waiting for stuff to dry, so I don't rub off the paint anymore, I can actually do a little bit of a demonstration on dry brushing. This little crab was gonna be the next mech that I painted after these two, but rather than just kind of sit around yakking, I can actually do something and kind of show you what I'm talking about a little bit. All right, so that's a dry brush. Very little paint on the brush. There you go, just like that. I'll catch you later. So while I'm waiting on these two to dry, I'm just going to dry brush a zenithal over these guys. Over this guy, actually. Oop. Too much paint came out. A little goopy. That's the key with dry brushing, is just using a fine technique. I don't think that's where I was thinking, but whatever. I don't care. Just kind of do a slap choppy style zenithal over this guy. Get him ready to be the next mech that I paint. Oh, you know what I also need to do? I also need to paint my Shadowrun minis that I have. Since this is a Shadowrun channel, I suppose I could do some Shadowrun painting at some point in time. I'll probably do that next time I stream. But I got those Prime Runner minis that Catalyst put out a while ago that unfortunately have been sitting in my pile of shame. So, Glenn, Catalyst put out this thing called Prime Runners a little bit ago, and I believe it was, I don't remember when exactly, 2020, 2021, I think. And they were some plastic minis, similar plastic to the Battletech minis. But there were some plastic minis. It was a troll street samurai, an orc street samurai, a decker, a rigger, and a mage. Yeah, I mean, as far as minis go, they're not the best quality. They're board game minis. Let's be honest. They are board game quality minis, but they're not bad. I just haven't gotten around to painting them. Well, no, I lied. I had painted them. I didn't like how they turned out, so I stripped them, and I just haven't gotten around to repainting them. But that was a couple of years ago. So, well, actually, no, that was actually a year ago because I did a review of them on this channel. Does your sledge have a droopy katana too? Um, I don't even know where my sledge is. Actually, to check, I don't think he had a droopy katana. I could be wrong about that though. But yeah, Sledge was the first one that I painted up. I didn't paint him up with any regards to any scheme or anything like that. I just kind of just slap and paint on the mini. And honestly, I'm probably going to do that with repaint. I'm just going to slap paint on the minis um, and see where that leads me. I'm not really somebody that plans out their paint schemes, really. Um, I'm like the Joker. I don't have a plan. I just kind of do what looks good to me. All right, I'm gonna fix this guy's leg a little bit more. I'll let him dry more. What I also need to do is I also need to paint the Halloweeners that I have from Ironwind Metals. Later, Glenn. Have fun at your meeting. It sounds like it's going to be magical. Forget other people do work on the weekdays. Today is my Sunday, so it is my weekend. The only thing that I have to do is I have to pick up my kid from the bus in a little bit. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and wash the metal parts on this guy. Mixed up too much paint. Oh well, mixed up too much wash. All right. So I'm going to wash the metal parts with some Vallejo Black Wash. Which is not the best black wash, but I bought it. I'm going to use it. Kind of a waste to just kind of leave it there just because I don't like I don't enjoy it very much, but it does the job. Shades my metallics pretty well. I just have to go back over them with a little bit of highlight and brighten them up a little bit because it can tend to dirty them up a little too much. I really need to get some music playing in the background next stream, I think, too. So I'm sure you all are enjoying the soft, soothing tones of my deep baritone voice. It would be nice to have a little bit of music in the background. Just gotta find something that's not gonna get me copyright struck. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I actually didn't put any metallic parts on there. All right. Let's see. How much longer am I gonna go? I'm probably gonna go on here for another half hour, maybe. I don't know. I'm going for a little bit. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. I haven't gotten overly annoyed with the painting setup that I have yet, so that's a good thing. It's always good when the streamer is not annoyed by the process. That was actually why I quit streaming the first time, was because the whole thing was annoying me. because I couldn't find a comfortable way to paint on camera to the point where I was be able to see what I was doing. Let's see. I've got 9 views according to the chat. Well, not the chat, according to the analytics on the stream. Which is not bad for a first stream, I think. Yeah, I do have to kind of figure out what's causing the bit rate to kind of crash a little bit, but whatever. I'll figure it out. This is just a learning stream, really. All right, let's see. I got the metallics washed on here. Let me go through, do a little bit more cleanup on the cockpit. Get that more to a place where I want it, because the cockpit's actually one of the funnest things to do on a mech. Especially if it's a mech that's got a big old canopy on it. You can do some really fun stuff, get some really cool effects. This little itty bitty catapult. Its canopy is not too big, but big enough where I can probably do some cool stuff with it. Because in my opinion, half of the key, well, a lot of the key of getting a good mech is getting a good canopy going. To get a good canopy, your mech can have an average paint job, and it will still look slick as fuck. Alright, kind of get into these medium lasers in the torso, because we're going to make those nice and glowy green. So that way they stand out. Give a little bit of, draw a little bit of the eye more towards the cockpit area. Alright, let's see. Is this guy dry enough yet? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Alright, I'm actually going to set him off to the side and not do a whole lot with him. A little bit of fixing some stuff. You know, if I like this setup enough, I might actually do some painting videos again. Problem is, painting videos are a lot of work. Like, more so than a lore video, without a doubt. I don't know how some of these painters do it. Paint their stuff, paint stuff for YouTube, all that good, and be able to film it so that it looks halfway decent. People can see what you're doing. I don't know. Just don't know. Alright, let me go grab another brush. Hang on. I'm going to be using some magic blue speed paint for the cockpit. Get that base coat on. I always like to use an old crappy brush with these speed paints because they have a tendency to stick to your brush and ruin them. thing be a little rough on brushes. So I don't use my good Monument Hobbies Sable brush with speed paints. I save that for my regular paints. And then use this old crappy Wargamer Regiment brush from Army Painter, which this brush is a freaking workhorse. I've had this brush for 2 years. It barely holds a tip anymore, but is still going strong. It's definitely my workhorse brush, without a doubt. It's going to be a sad, sad, sad day when I finally have to get rid of it and put it out to pasture. All right, so I got the base on the cockpit laid out and good to go. Get my green speed paint. Yep, and walk over to the other desk again. Let's see. You know what? While I'm over here, I'm gonna grab the rest of the colors that I need to do the cockpit and the laser glow, which probably don't have anybody here watching this. You wanna know the secret to good laser glow? Apple barrel. I use this for any green laser glow that I need because it's a very bright green paint. 99 cents. Much cheaper than anything from GW or anything from Army Painter or Vallejo or anything like that. I will use it for laser glow on 200, 300 mechs, and it will never run out. I use so little of it at a time. All right. Drink of my ubiquitous brown liquid from my Disney cup that I stole from my son. Because I needed a cup for work. He doesn't really like that cup, so it became mine. All right. Also, what I'm doing right now is just continuing to share the stream to social media. Which, if anybody's got a good way of doing that, let me know. Because it's actually annoying going to all the different websites and social media things and Discord servers that I'm in. I'm in a Discord servers. It's kind of annoying going to all of them. And copying and pasting and all that good stuff. Okay. Open the door for my dogs so they can go out and do their business. They're probably going to bark at something, so whatever. All right, I'm going to go with the stream for probably 15 more minutes. I can't see myself going much longer than that. I do have to pick my son up from the bus a little bit later, probably in about an hour. So I am going to end this in 15 minutes. But in 15 minutes, I will be able to do a little bit of work. Probably mostly get this catapult done by the time the stream ends. It's actually not really a whole hell of a lot that I need to do with them. I'm going to do the cockpit, which I'm doing right now. I got to highlight the metals, bring them up a little bit from the black wash. Do the base, obviously, because the base is not done. It's going to be that springtime snow base. It's on all of my combine snakes. But then once I do that, he's pretty well done and good to go. Of course, one of my dogs is just kind of laying down in the sun. So take a quick break to take a picture of him. Share that to social media at some point. All right. So with the cockpit, all of these things, once I get the magic blue speed paint down, I take some sky blue Vallejo I got from Hobby Lobby for way too much, and just kind of stipple that on there, kind of get a little bit of a glowy effect on him. And I take that, mix it with a little bit of white, get a little bit more of a gradient going, make it a little bit brighter, and then I'll use just some pure white to finish it off. Just kind of get like a glowy type of effect from that. See, brightens up that cockpit just a little bit more. Kind of blends it in. There we go. There we go. Better tip on my brush. Yes, I'm a brush licker. I don't eat the paint off the brush, but I do lick the brush, which is really bad. I shouldn't do that, but yeah, whatever. And take some pure white. Just kind of do some more stippling. Get a little bit less paint. Do some more stippling on there. Here we go. There we go. Getting it done. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit brighter. And boom. I know it's really hard to see on my crappy webcam. But look at that. That right there is a standout cockpit. And I'm going to take pictures of this and show them, probably show it in my community page a little bit more. and on my Twitter and all that good stuff. But yeah, the light, very very light blue against the red is just ooh pops. That cockpit just pops out against against that deep red right there. And oops, there we go. You chunk of paint. Got my apple barrel. Apple barrel spring green. We'll do those lasers now. These lasers, they are not very prominent. So there's not a lot that I'm going to be able to do to make these stand out. But the thing with the lasers is my unsteady hand is causing me to get paint around the rim of the laser. Because the lasers on this guy, they're kind of recessed into the torso. So you don't really see them very much. But actually, I forgot to wash those little dealies. They're there. So you don't see them very much, but the green paint is going to help them stand out a little bit, I think. Live streaming. Okay, no viewers now, so whatever. All right, 10 more minutes. Let's see if I can finish out green glow. It's the same process, by the way, for lasers that I use for cockpit. You get that base of that speed paint, followed up with the spring green, add a little bit more white to the spring green. Make things pop out more. And then hit it with pure white. And then we're good to go. So see, there we go. We're getting a little bit more green in there. Not a whole lot more. Because again, the lasers are recessed into the body. Not like on the newer catapult. The catalyst version of the catapult, I believe the lasers are actually outside of the torso. They're more prominent on the torso, so it's easier to get a better glow effect, better look on those. So all right, well, so I think it's been a productive stream. I really do. I got to find a way to get the bit rate on the current stream up just a little bit, because I keep getting warnings about that, and I'm not sure how that's affecting the quality. We shall see. I don't know. but yeah, we got a catapult almost finished. We screwed up a Hadamato, fuck, I don't remember how to. We screwed up this guy a little bit, but we fixed him, and we did a bit of Zenfall on this guy. I still have to dry brush the white on this guy. But yeah, I think it's a very productive stream. I think it was a good first run, a good test. I may have to do this again next week. I might make Tuesdays my streaming day. I don't know. maybe do recording because my weekend is Monday and Tuesday, so maybe I do recording on Monday, um, for videos. And then Tuesday I do maybe around noon I do the stream, maybe a lunchtime stream or something like that. I don't know. I just don't know, but we will have to see. Some of the other content that's coming up. We are going to have some more reviews coming. So let me see. Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to mute the mic. Okay. I didn't want to sneeze into the mic. I know no one's watching, but I didn't want to have a sneeze be the most prominent thing on my channel. So, we've got some reviews coming. I did a review of Battletech Dark Age. That's going to be dropping probably next week, I think. I might redo the review because I wasn't exactly 100% pleased with how it went in there and how I presented it, but maybe I'll just let it ride. The other thing I'm reviewing, this bad boy, Blade Runner, the role-playing game. The role-playing game based on one of the most genre-defining movies of all time and one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time as well. So, definitely, this is going to be dropping tomorrow. So, anybody watching, you've got the inside scoop. Probably nobody watching right now. So, this is just going to be between me and you, YouTube. But yeah, Blade Runner RPG, very nice book, very cool. I like it a lot. I haven't run it yet, but I will at some point. And it's gonna. I think it's gonna be magical when I do. So, all right, stream is over. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.